Well, just as we are all reveling in the arrival of spring, so too are our pets. Most of them love the great outdoors, which also means, though, that it is time to be responsible pet owners. Everything from vaccines to collars need an update. In today's Find a Friend segment, sponsored by Rascal Animal Hospital, head vet Dr. Gonzalez is here to guide us through it all. So, Dr. G, good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
And good to see your lovely, adorable little friend that is seriously just loving up on you. Who do you have with you?
This lover boy, his name is Hutch. So he's an English bulldog, approximately 3 years old. He is available for adoption through an awesome foster-based group in Dayton called Love for Canines.
Okay.
So he had kind of a story that we see quite a bit. The people that purchased him paid several thousands of dollars for what was probably an adorable little puppy, not knowing anything about this breed. This is a breed that tends to have different issues, skin issues, breathing issues, and, you know, people need to make sure that they understand things like that before they get them so that they don't end up in shelters.
Yeah, and that probably does happen fairly often.
It happens quite a bit, yes.
All right, Love for Canines is where Hutch is from, so hopefully somebody will adopt him. All right, okay, what should be on top of every pet owner's list for this spring as we get ready?
The biggest thing is vaccinations. We start seeing a lot of people socializing their dogs, going to the park and all of that, and parvo hits really strong at this time of year. So it's a disease that is very lethal and very preventable. So getting their animals vaccinated is the #1 thing before taking them out.
Does any other vaccine need updated? Do you have to get boosters throughout the year? Is this a good time to
all of
look
the
at
vaccines?
everything?
Yeah, and depending on the type and the amount of risk is what the recommendations are. So obviously you consult with your veterinarian, but the distemper parvo lepto combination, the kennel cough vaccine are some important vaccines that are sometimes done yearly. Some of those are done every 3 years, and of course the rabies, not just to protect them, but if your pet gets anxious and maybe nips at somebody or somebody else's pet, you want to make sure that you're protected.
And we talked about heartworm, Lyme disease, those things this time of year especially, you need to work on those as well. And then sometimes, of course, dogs, you mentioned, go into the park. They want to run, they want to break free. We know that that can also present many safety issues. So you brought some leashes that might help with that, right?
Yes, absolutely, because one of the things that the most common injury that we see is dog fights. So dogs will go to the park, and some dogs are very well socialized with the dogs in the neighborhood, the neighbor dogs, that kind of stuff, but not with strange dogs, especially in a strange environment. So you want to make sure first that you slowly socialize your dogs to animals that are in the park. First of all, if your dog is a little dog, keep him in the little dog section. Don't take him to the big dog section. Same thing if you have a big dog. But then the leash safety is something that is really important. You want to have a leash and a collar that are not going to harm your dog. So I hate chokers, especially the metals, the spikes, the prongs. To me, that just shows that you don't have good enough control of your dog. So you need to do something to harm them so that they will listen to you. Whereas there are things like gentle leaders, which are the ones that look like muzzles, and then things like this, which is a harness that is going around his front legs, it's going around his neck a little bit, but primarily is controlling his whole body. So even though Hutch is a really strong dog, this allows me to kind of control him and keep him from going other places.
And it looks really comfortable for him, unlike some of those other ones.
Yeah, I put it on today, and he has never worn it before, and he has not minded it at all.
And what about chip IDs? That's something where dogs are going to run away, right? They get outside, they get excited. That's an important thing people need to do.
Exactly. And, you know, we love the microchips, and we're constantly telling people, please get your animals microchip, but also get a regular tag. When you get a microchip, usually you will get a microchip tag as well. But if you have a tag that already has your name and number, when somebody finds your pet, if they still have that tag, they're going to be able to communicate with you immediately. But if that falls off, there's a problem, it's unreadable, then the microchip is the best fail-safe.
All right, Dr. G, the last thing we want to talk about quickly is the Naked Dog Project, and that's something that's really timely.
Right, absolutely, and it all started because of a dog that died because it was playing with another dog. She had a choker collar, and then playing with it, she got choked out, and she actually died. And her owner has started this whole thing for Gracie's sake. And basically, it's about learning that dogs should play without collars on, without chokers, especially if they're not being attended. And if you decide to have them play with it, just have a safety kit, something that can break through the chain, something that can cut through thick leashes. So if they get tangled, you can take care of it immediately. It takes just a few minutes for a dog's life to end like Gracie did.
All right, we don't want to see any of that happen. So again, if somebody wants to adopt Hutch, Love for Canines is the organization. Go on their website. I'm sure they have a Facebook page and all that good stuff. It's out of Dayton. So thank you, Dr. G.
Thank you.